Welcome to episode 25 of Discover Ocala, presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida. I'm Valerie Dailey, your host for today's episode. We're excited to welcome Tamara Fleischhaker, Interim CEO and Chief Experience Officer of the Ocala Metro Chamber and Economic Partnership. She's here to share insights about the Leadership Ocala Metro program, a dynamic initiative shaping the future leaders of our community. Let's dive in and learn more. Well, Tamara, I am very excited to have you here today on a topic near and dear to my heart, LOM, or Leadership Ocala Metro. I appreciate you coming in to chat with us about it today. I was class 17. Best class ever. And well, I know you were in a class too.
I was class 23, best class ever.
Okay.
And yes, now we are up to class 39.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Absolutely amazing. So our viewership probably doesn't understand what Leadership Ocala Metro is. So give us a synopsis of what the program is, who can apply, what they might do, and we'll go from there.
Well, we'll just give the quick overview. So we call it LOM, as you know. We just shorten it up to the acronym of all those initials. It makes it easier. And it is really a 9-month immersive program that puts you into the background of the community. So for us, it's really about taking people, we used to say emerging leaders, but I always say imminent leaders, or those who are on a professional track within your organization, to get them into some development for leadership, into understanding their community better, because ultimately what we're trying to do is develop that next generation of leaders in our community. And get them immersed into the community, understanding how the structure works, how governmentally it works, what the industries are. And then also we're hoping that there'll be some community re-engagement, that they'll give back to the community as well in their roles.
So 9 months, do you meet once a month? What is that structure?
Sure. Well, I would say mostly once a month.
Okay.
And that is because there are certain, out of the program, there are about 15 sessions total. And they do meet from September through May. Graduation's always in May. I think this year we might start on August 31st, I think is the way it begins, with orientation. So you'll have orientation. We do a simulated society.
You're still doing that?
Yeah, we still are, which I think is one of the strongholds of our program. And I know, it's one of those things that if you've been through the program, we say, well, that's all I can tell you. Because I think an exercise on simulated society, or SimSoc as we call it, is incredibly important.
It sets so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so we go from that into a ropes course, which is of course that team building and really, some reliance, and you kind of see where the leadership skills start to develop there. And then we continue on through a number of sessions, but those first 3 all kind of happen in rapid succession. So that's why, we do say it's 9 months, and we do put a couple of those sessions together as we need to for the scheduling. But yeah, that's how it begins.
So is it an all-day session on most of these?
It is definitely an all-day session. So the first couple of things, so like we'll do the ropes course on a Saturday because that's the easiest and convenient, because we have to pick a great course outside of the community, and so that is a Saturday event. And then it's usually 1 day a month. Again, a couple of months there might be 2 days, and it's a full day session. And the other piece of it is, we'll put you on the bus, we'll meet at a certain location, get you onto the bus, and then we'll travel, they'll travel as a group. And it's really, this becomes your cohort group too. I'm sure you have still those relationships out of your class.
Yes, absolutely. And still doing business with several of them.
And that's exactly what it is. And I think, we talk about it all the time. You don't graduate from leadership, you graduate into it, because it's how you continue to lead within the community and those groups. And I hear it all the time, and people say it with pride. It's the same way we started out talking about best class ever. There is always that pride point with the classes, and because they do grow together and they use each other as resources in business and personal life. And it really is an engaged group in the community.
How many people are accepted into the class?
Yeah, so we generally accept a limit of about 35 people. And again, that's because trying to get into some of these places, and when you're really working on a behind the scenes view of some locations, it can be very difficult to get in if you've got too large of a group. So for the adult class, we generally try to keep it about 35 attendees.
Okay. And they have to fill out an application, and they can get that application. I think I saw where it was due tomorrow.
It is actually, yes. This class is really, we're already there for this year, which is fantastic. But you can always find that leadership information online. For us, it's ocalascep.com/programs/leadership opportunities.
Okay.
So that's where you can always find that information. And we'll have it on upcoming classes. We generally start recruiting in the spring. And that goes for both our leadership adult program, and then we also have a leadership youth program.
Okay, good. So now that we're talking about the youth program, is it set up the same way, or what's different about it?
Yeah, so that program, and just for those who don't understand it, is designed for high school juniors. So we try to get them into a program. Again, what we're trying to do is make sure that they know the most about their community. And even if you grew up here, I hear whether it's adults or whether it's these teenagers, and we're not just looking for something they're going to put on their resume and say, well, I was in a leadership program. We're really looking for students who would benefit from becoming a part of that. And so we open that up to public schools, private schools, and homeschooled students. That class, we generally accept a few more students in that because we're a little more after hours with that, of course, getting after the school day. And so because of that, we get to have a few more students in that. We try to stay about 40. Sometimes we go a little above that if we have a hard time deciding between students. And we are very blessed that that program has a lot of students that want to be a part of it, and always feel tremendously bad when we have to cut the limit and then not have students participate. But it is a really wonderful program. And again, what we're trying to develop in them, and we do everything from career day with them. We have an add-on there, trying to find opportunities where they can learn about this community, because a lot of our students will go off to higher education. We're in a university triangle here, and what we ultimately want is them to come back to the community with that program.
Absolutely. Yes. Now, are you still doing interviews as part of the application process?
We do. Absolutely, we do. For both the adults and for the youth programs. And really, it's more to find out kind of where they're trying to go, particularly for the adults. What is it you're hoping to gain out of this experience? Because, we can help make connections while you're in the program, or make sure that we're getting to, some of the skill development or other things that you were looking for in the program. And for the youth, we want to make sure that they're invested in it. Again, because we have to set limits. We want to make sure that those students are going to be there at all the sessions, and that they're going to participate and fully engage, because it is such a high demand program.
Yeah. And so I know several people that have gone on to serve as the board for these programs. Yes. Tell us a little bit about the board and what their responsibilities
Sure. Our Board of Regents is made up of alumni, and I think that's the most interesting part of it. When you've come through the program, you understand all the elements of it, and I think you're best able to go, you know what? We went to this location last year. Wouldn't it be great if we added this, or we changed this? Or what are some of the tweaks, different things? And that's really how the career day piece of it came about, is Regents looked at that for the young people and said, look, we're doing all of these development pieces, and we want them to stay in the community, and we're trying to either get them employed, enlisted, enrolled, or have them become entrepreneurs. How do we give them some more opportunities for engagement? And so that was a key piece of it, and that came from Regents helping make those decisions. But we rely on them. They're volunteers. They're alumni that have been through the program, and they volunteer either for the Leadership Youth Program or for the Leadership Adult Program. Interesting thing now, we're starting to see those multiple generations come around. We've been through so many years. A member of my class, her son just graduated from Leadership Youth this year, and it was just such a great moment to see that next generation coming through and having them volunteer through that.
Yeah, I know my daughter went through the program as well, and she really enjoyed it.
And I think, was she a youth regent?
She was.
Because we have done that as well. If we have students that are staying near to the community and have the ability to be youth regents, that's really a great point too, because that's their peers, and then they get to understand the program at a different level from someone their own age who's been through it.
Right. So when you were in your class, what was your favorite session?
So that's a difficult one for me, but I think the most interesting session, most difficult, most mentally trying, was the fire day.
Oh,
I
mine
think,
too.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. They said I was the first one that went through the tank of air.
I
Because,
I don't
uh,
doubt that, and I feel like we should explain that a little bit. But we do such an immersive job that the fire day for us is literally you put on the gear, you put on the tanks,
it's
and
hot,
yeah,
it's
it is.
heavy.
It's super hot, it's super heavy, and yeah, when you're like breathing in a oh my lord, what am I doing? And you start panting in those tanks, and they're like, calm down. You're like, okay, I could do this, but they put us through drills, and we used to do it. I think in our day we were still at the fire college. Now
Yes.
we do it with Marion County Fire Rescue in their
Okay.
yard, which is great. Because I mean, now I see these kids cutting open cars and doing the things that they do in that process. I'm like, it's so amazing. But I think there is nothing like that hands-on immersive experience, and that one really puts you into it in a way that I think challenges you as what are your abilities, what are your fears, and can you conquer them? And I think it's the same way as the ropes program did
Yeah.
for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really respect firemen and the
Oh,
jobs that they do because
absolutely.
it it's amazing.
Yeah, that is, again, we talk about it all the time, but that helps you really get the feel for it. Like, okay, they're rushing into smoke-filled buildings with flames, and they have to rescue people, and the gear that they have to carry. I mean, I barely made it just in the heavy jacket and the pants and the tank,
Yeah.
right? And then they're carrying hoses and they're carrying other equipment, and it's just, yeah, it is incredible what they do, and it just makes you more grateful for the work that they do every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. So it was a great experience, and like you said, I still eat lunch with several of the ones that were in my class and business with
Of
others,
course.
and I noticed that in one of the literatures it said you need to be a member of the CEP.
We do still require that. And again, it's because of the limited number of people that we can put through that. So it is still a requirement to be one of our partners at the organization for the adult program, that is. And then, for certain tiers, we do have discounts available to them. And we also offer for our nonprofit partners, because we know that can be a challenging expense line when you're a nonprofit. And so we do offer some scholarships from our alumni organization and individual donors
So
to the
what does it
program.
cost?
So this year it's $1,400. So really, when you think about that though, as an investment over 9 months, and you're trying to develop a staff person, that's a pretty decent investment given what it costs nowadays to go to even a 2 or 3 day conference or
Sure.
training session.
Yeah.
And so that does include, their meals during the day. It includes that transportation. It covers everything. Plus they get their shirts to show
Yeah.
off.
That's right. And a great dinner for when they graduate as well.
Absolutely.
And I know that alumni are invited to attend.
It is one of the things we've talked about for several years. And, in trying to do alumni events, it can be very difficult to get that group together. But we have found, and I thank our current coordinator for the program, which is Andrea Bailey, and she has been so significant in looking at changes and listening to what is coming out of the classes and all the feedback. And one of the things the alumni said is, we'd love to go celebrate the existing classes. I mean, I love it. And that, that's a great opportunity for us to celebrate and then kind of reminisce about what that looks like. Because when you're looking
Yes.
at the photos of all the things they've been through in a year, and you go, oh yeah, well in my year we did this,
Yes.
and in my year it was this, and you just, that camaraderie again of getting together with your class and having a couple of tables of your alumni together, and just being able to celebrate what this legacy is so very important. And so I'm glad that we added that in.
I think it's a wonderful program that Ocala has, and it's the Metro. So people from Dunellen
It
and
is.
Bellevue and wherever can participate as long as they're CEP members, and it really is a wonderful program, and you do get a behind the scenes look of how this community is managed and run, and some of the companies that are here.
Absolutely.
It's great. Is there a question that you thought I was going to ask that I didn't?
Well, no, I mean, I think you've covered a great portion of it. Although I will say this, because I've had people that say, well, I've been here my whole life and I'm multi-generation. I will tell you this, that we have sent people through the classes that, they might be a fifth generation family that's been here, and they still come and they go, you know what? I didn't think I had anything to learn, but this was an incredible experience. And, just this last year, we had a graduate who they thought they knew the community pretty well, very engaged business. and they didn't know about their opportunity to serve on boards with the county commission. And then they applied, and now they're serving on one of those boards. So again, it's those things that you get to see that you didn't anticipate. And I'm just glad to be able to talk about it today. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. I love the program and excited that you're on class 39.
I know, it's incredible.
That's amazing. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tamara.
you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks to Tamara for joining us today. And we look forward to being with you once again next month on Discover Ocala, presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida.
Discover Ocala is presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida. As an independent brokerage firm for over 2 decades, Showcase Properties has helped customers throughout Central Florida achieve their real estate goals. Showcase Realtors offer expertise in a variety of property types and price points, and their services go beyond just buying and selling. Visit showcaseocala.com to connect with a dedicated local realtor and start your unique real estate journey today. We also want to thank you, the listener, for taking time to discover Ocala with us. We hope you enjoyed this month's episode, and if you did, please consider leaving us a review or rating wherever you're listening, or even telling a friend about us. If you have any questions on other organizations, individuals, or events you'd like to see covered in future episodes, you can get in touch with us directly at discoverocala@showcaseocala.com. See you next month.